Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? It's the best night of the year, right? Exciting time. Many guests of honor. A lot of guests of honor tonight. Well, I have the pleasure of welcoming you all formally to the 2025 Assumption University Athletics Hall of Fame ceremony. Let's have a huge round of applause for our inductees tonight. For those of you that I have not yet met, my name is Eric Obiel. I am the Director of Athletics here on campus, and it is my privilege to be here with you all to celebrate and induct an incredible group of individuals into our Athletics Hall of Fame. Before we get started, I would like to thank you all for joining us and extend my deepest gratitude to our Hall of Fame committee members who are in attendance tonight. They are tasked with an extremely difficult job, and I commend them for their diligence and effort in nominating and deciding each of our induction classes. At this time, I will ask the committee members to stand to be recognized. Don't be shy. Thank you. Before we move into our formal program tonight, I also want to take a moment to thank our Board of Trustees, President Weiner and Vice President Bill Boffey for their incredible support of our department and our teams, and most importantly, our student athletes. With that, I do not need to tell you how truly special Assumption is. If you've not been to campus in a while, I encourage you to take a walk through campus this weekend and interact with our incredible student athletes, or even some that are in attendance this evening. You will find the energy and passion they bring is unmatched and what make our community truly special. Tonight is about celebrating some very special members of our past who have achieved greatness during their playing and coaching careers. They were significant contributors to Assumption Athletics and built the foundation for what it means to be a Greyhound today. Tonight, we will honor an icon of Greyhound athletics, an honorary inductee who has been one of our strongest supporters of Greyhound athletics for decades, a statistical standout catcher from our baseball program, a two-time ice hockey defensive player of the year, a former standout ice hockey player turned coach, one of our all-time leading scorers from our women's soccer program, a first-team All-American from our track and field program, and a dynamic and dominant running back from our football program. Let's have a quick round of applause for this unbelievably talented and successful 2025 class. As we begin our evening of celebration, it is my honor to now invite our university president, Dr. Gregory Weiner, to the podium for a few remarks. President Weiner.
Well, good evening and welcome home. I hate to correct the man who just so graciously introduced me, but I do have to say something about the Vice President Boffey thing, which is that I got a text about an hour ago, and it said, and I quote, "FYI, I'm crashing the Hall of Fame event." So he did not RSVP, so I need all of you to keep an eye on how much he's having to eat. So I'm going to beg your indulgence because it's homecoming weekend and there's another event I've got to run off to. So I'll be for your sakes I'll be brief, and then I've got to run. But I do want to welcome all of you, especially those of you who have come from a distance and know that Assumption is home. To our inductees, our family, their friends, their teammates who are here with us. I want to say make a special mention of Kevin Glansman's family. The opportunity to meet his father a little bit earlier, and we appreciate you allowing us to share this very special moment for you. I have not seen Rita Castagna, the legendary Rita Castagna, but who is unable to make it tonight, and who I'm skipping over that paragraph now. But we do want to recognize her for a recent induction into the NE10 Hall of Fame. So many of you know that there was recently a filming of a major motion picture on campus in which Mark Wahlberg plays what the script calls, quote, one of the greatest point guards in Assumption history. So our inductees, as of tonight, can say that you occupy the same Hall of Fame as Mark Wahlberg. Better put, Mark Wahlberg gets to say he's in the same Hall of Fame as you. And by the way, having seen Mr. Wahlberg from a distance, I have every confidence that Father Dennis could take him in a half-court 3-on-3. He's got a good 6 inches of height, and I understand plays a physical game. You are here as part of a remarkable athletic tradition. It is also important to note, most important perhaps to note, that it is such a remarkable educational tradition. Athletics plays such an essential role in our mission of Catholic liberal education. Our coaches, as many of you know, are among some of our most gifted educators. Our student athletes are among our highest academic performers. And what's even more important than that is what we don't measure, which is that when we speak in our mission statement about educating citizens who think seriously about the common good, there is no better classroom for that than the playing field, the court, the ice. When we talk about pursuing truth in the company of friends, athletics embodies that. It embodies the importance, the sacred gift, really, of depending on one another to achieve a goal. So I want to thank you for being part of that history. I wish you very well for the much-deserved celebration tonight. Hope to see many of you at homecoming tomorrow. And wherever you're coming from, again, welcome home.
Thank you, President Wiener. Before we move into the dinner portion of our evening, I will now ask Father Dennis Gallagher, our Vice President for Mission, to join us at the podium for the invocation.
Let us pray. O God, our Father, giver of all good gifts, for the blessings of body, mind, and spirit, we give you thanks. On this evening, when we honor these alums whose excellence in their respective sports has set them apart in the annals of Assumption Athletics, we are grateful for the sheer enjoyment of athletic competition, but also for those valuable attributes of mind and body they produce. For the virtues of cooperation, sacrifice, courage, determination, and fair play. We thank you for all those here present who exemplify what is best in the Assumption tradition of excellence. Upon those who were instrumental in the success of our honorees, coaches, professors, teammates, and families, and upon Assumption University as we strive to inculcate in our student athletes all that is best in the human spirit, we ask your blessing. Bless too the food we are about to eat and the glad company we share, these two signs of your goodness to us. We ask all of this in the name of your Son, Jesus, and in the unity of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Father Dennis. At this time, please enjoy dinner, and we will begin our recognition and inductions in roughly 30 minutes. Please help yourself. There are coffee and tea in the back, and the bar over to my left here, but please enjoy dinner, and again, we will start the formal presentations in about 30 minutes. Enjoy dinner. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed dinner. Thank you for your patience there. Please continue to eat. Please continue to use the coffee and bar. We will now begin tonight's ceremony with honoring an icon of Assumption University who was recently inducted into the Northeast 10 Conference Hall of Fame in June of 2024. Unfortunately, she could not be here with us this evening, but sends her regards and a big congratulations to tonight's inductees. Rita Castagna was an influential figure in the NE10 from the early days of the league's founding, as she served as Assistant Director of Athletics and head coach for our women's basketball program and softball programs here from 1974 to 1985. From 1986 to 2003, she was the Director of Athletics at Assumption and the first woman to hold that position. She was a member of the NCAA Division II Basketball Committee and the NCAA Selection Study Committee, and served as the president of the MAIAW, the Massachusetts Association for Intercollegiate Athletics for Women. Over her tenure with Assumption, she also served as the head coach of our field hockey and volleyball programs. Castagna was the first head coach of field hockey and softball in school history. Outside of the NE10's founding fathers, Castagna became the 5th administrator inducted into the league's prestigious Hall of Fame. As I mentioned, Rita could not be with us tonight, but at this time, please help me congratulate Rita from afar on this wonderful and truly deserved honor. Thank you. So to kick off tonight's ceremony, our next recipient is a member of our 2023 Hall of Fame class, and due to unforeseen circumstances at that time, was unable to join us for our last ceremony. However, we're absolutely thrilled she is here with us today and able to rightfully accept her honor into our Hall of Fame. Jennifer Lowry, class of 2012, is one of the most dominant pitchers in Assumption Athletics history to ever toe the rubber. During her freshman campaign, Jen was named to the Northeast 10 Conference All-Rookie Team and appeared in 24 games with 19 starts, pitching 11 complete games while posting 4 shutouts and 1 save. In 124.2 innings of action, she allowed 104 hits and 42 earned runs while striking out 131 batters. During her sophomore season, she somehow improved upon those incredible stats and was named to the NE10 Second Team All-Conference and increased her strikeout total and striking out 157 batters while posting a 15-8 record. As a junior in 2011, Lowry was named to the Northeast 10 All-Conference First Team, where she logged 133 innings, going an incredible 13-8, allowing 44 earned runs and striking an outstanding 179 batters out while maintaining an ERA of a 2.32. During this season, she stacked up 5 double-digit strikeout games, including a career high of 16 strikeouts against Stonehill. We love that, Jen. Great job against Stonehill. As a senior, she started 27 games and had an incredible 26 complete games with 5 shutouts, finishing with an outstanding record of 18-10 overall and an amazing ERA of a 1.82. She allowed only 48 runs and struck out 246 batters, which is the second highest single season total in program history. Additionally, she posted 13 double-digit strikeout games. In the Greyhounds' postseason run that year, she recorded 42 innings pitched, 60 strikeouts, and supported a 2.67 ERA in 7 games, which resulted in the program's 3rd conference title and their 2nd NCAA parents overall. For her performance that season, she was awarded multiple accolades, which included being named the Northeast 10 Conference Pitcher of the Year, Northeast 10 All-Conference First Team, the Daktronics Second Team All-Region, the Andrew Laska Athlete of the Year Award, the Reverend Armin Desital Memorial Award. To this day, Lowry's stats still hold up in today's game, and she still ranks in the top 5 in program history in the following categories: career shutouts, first with 19; career strikeouts, first with 713; complete games in a season, 26; strikeouts in a season, 246. She is 3rd in career wins with 56. In career innings pitched, she is 3rd with 589.1. She is 4th in complete games with 68, 4th in wins in a season with 18, and 5th with innings pitched in a season with 184.1. With that, please help me welcome Jen to the podium and congratulate her on her induction honor.
Thank you. Hi. I'm nervous, sorry. I wrote just a few things down. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight to support me and my fellow inductees, and congratulations, everybody else who's being inducted tonight. I want to say thank you to everybody who played a part in deeming me worthy to receive this honor tonight. Thank you to the Hall of Fame Committee and everybody at Assumption who helped to make this happen for me and my family. I also want to thank my teammates, especially my coach, Ralph DeLuca, for taking me on the team and believing in me throughout my career. There's a lot of people who helped me along my softball journey, but there's two people who share the honor right alongside of me. Excuse me, sorry. It's my mom and dad. They never missed a single pitch my whole life. Okay, I'm good, sorry. From instructional league all the way through Assumption, they never missed a pitch. Even beer leagues after Assumption, they were at all those games too. They couldn't have done anything with them. I wish my husband was there. I didn't know him yet, but he's the biggest mouth at all of my blooper ball games, so I can't imagine how he would have been at Assumption. But I'm so grateful. I'm really honored to be here tonight, and I'm sorry for my emotions. I'm shaking right now. Put me on a field and I'm fine, but put me on, it's not my thing. But I hope everybody enjoys tonight, and congratulations once again to the inductees, and thank you so much.
Congratulations, Jen. I know our team could still use you if you have any innings left in that arm, but you pitched quite a bit. Pitched quite a bit. With that is certainly a tough act to follow, but our next inductee has been one of the most influential leaders at our university for decades and is still positively impacting our community today. It is my honor to induct Father Dennis Gallagher, class of 1969, as he has spent decades as a spiritual mentor and unwavering supporter of Greyhound student athletes and staff. A member of the Assumptionist religious community, where he received the title of Provincial Superior of the North American Province of the Augustinians of the Assumption in 2017. Father Gallagher has attended countless games and served as a constant source of encouragement, guidance, and inspiration to generations of students, coaches, and staff. Today, he continues to serve the athletics department and its teams as a team chaplain and one of the biggest fans of Greyhound athletics. His presence in the athletic community has exemplified Assumption's mission of faith and service, and we are beyond grateful for his servant leadership. It is my honor to induct Father Dennis Gallagher into our Hall of Fame as an honorary member. Father Dennis, if you will, come to the podium.
I knew I'd have trouble with this phone if I, okay. Let me just get that in there. There we go, good, thank you. Yep, sit down, yep, good. Thank you, Eric. Eric, I recall Eric coming to my office about maybe 2 months ago to to let me know that I was going to receive this this honor, and I think Eric can testify to the fact that I was rather stunned and overwhelmed and honored by and just surprised, frankly, that I was receiving this. I come actually from a family of Hall of Famers. So I'm a little bit late to the party, I would say. My nephew Tim is here, and Tim's dad actually was the one who started the Hall of Fame thing in our family. Tim's dad was sort of the epitome of the three sport stellar athlete in the 1950s and 1960s. To give you an idea, three sports. He played as a freshman on the same team with Lenny Wilkens. Those of you of a certain age will remember Lenny Wilkens, who himself is in the NBA Hall of Fame for both coaching and for playing. A remarkable career. But my brother Tom, played in the opposite forward to him on the Providence team. So that was one. He actually didn't stay at Providence. You'll see that Tom bounced around a little bit. But after he left Providence, he got a full ride scholarship in football to Boston University at a time when BU was still playing football. He didn't stay there either. He didn't particularly like his experience at BU. Ended up at the University of Lowell, and as at the University of Lowell, he one season he set he had the highest batting average in the nation. He batted .540 on the team that year. So you can see football, basketball, and baseball. He was quite the athlete, and ended up in two different Hall of Fames. So that was Tim's father. Tim married Colleen Mitchell, who herself was a member of the Hall of Fame at Windsor, Connecticut High School for field hockey and for softball, and Colleen was the valedictorian here at Assumption of the class of 1990. I say this to say that Tim has a dad who is a Hall of Famer and a wife who's a Hall of Famer and a valedictorian. Tim is just, well, let me say two things about Tim. Tim is a Hall of Fame human being. I want to say that. And he's also waiting to be inducted into the Pickleball Hall of Fame. So we'll see what happens with that. So my family, I'm happy to have that members of my family, as also members of my religious family, my community that are here. I walked onto this campus 60 years ago, last month, 60 years ago. It's kind of weird to say, but I never left. I never left. I came as a freshman in the fall of 1965, and here we are, 60 years later. I'm reminded of a comment that Carl Yastrzemski made toward the end of his career, when somebody congratulated him on having, starting to accumulate a lot of records, and his comment was simply to say, if you play long enough, these things are gonna happen to you. So that's sort of part of the way I look upon this award. If you stay around long enough, something really nice like this will happen. Over the years, you'll notice that, of course, that the space in the program that normally has all the statistics is just plain white, right? There are no statistics there. But I did play an awful lot of intramural sports over the years here. Let me just start off by saying I said a gazillion prayers, for all sorts of events like this, for many different teams over the years, where I was sort of unofficial chaplain with the men's basketball team, the football team, for a while, the lacrosse team, most recently the softball team, where I would normally say prayers before those games and be with them for the games. So there was certainly that. I think I have. Let me just say the one word about my credentials as a fan. I think the best example of that might be this: that after I left here, I went to graduate school in the Boston area, before I came back here in '76. John Frank, Father John Frank, some of you may know Father John. Father John Frank and I used to drive out from Boston on nights when the Greyhounds, the men's basketball team, was having an away game. We would drive out to Framingham State College, which was the closest point that we could get to up on a hill, so that we would be able to get the feed from WCAP, which was broadcasting the games in those years. So we would sit there. John was more animated than I was as a fan, and we would be yelling at the radio together up on top of this hill. So I think that's a good example of fandom. I actually forgot something. Just to go back to the Hall of Fame for a moment, there's also one other member of the family that's in the Hall of Fame. He was supposed to be here tonight. He's actually Tim's Tim's uncle-in-law, my sister-in-law's younger brother, Steve Pearsall. Steve Pearsall, class of 73 at Assumption, is in the Hall of Fame here. Was the first Assumption baseball player to be drafted into the major leagues in 1973. So Steve is also part of the family in that regard. If I had to point to one or two things that I'm most happy about in terms of what I've been able to do here, back in the mid-1990s, Brother Robert Francis was the inspiration behind this, but I worked very, very closely with him to establish the annual prayer service for athletes and coaches. It originally was in the chapel, and now it's held outside on the football field. And I don't think we've missed it. Perhaps during COVID we missed a year, but from that time we've had consecutive years. First week of the semester, when all the teams are able to gather together with their coaches, and we have this really wonderful service. So that's been a very, very important, I think, part of our tradition here. I'm very, very happy to have been part of that. I would also say this, perhaps by way of conclusion. I've done a fair amount of writing in the Assumption magazine over the years in the job that I have here on campus, and frequently enough in those columns that I wrote, I made reference to athletics and to the place which athletics, and this has been said already tonight, but the place that athletics have in the overall education of our students. I'm thoroughly convinced. 40% of our population here now, 40% are student athletes. So you can tell that their participation in their respective sports is an integral part of the education that they receive here. And I tried in various ways to suggest how that was the case. So I was happy to be able to join together my job as Vice President for Mission and all of the wonderful times I've had in association with our athletic team. So I just simply say thank you very, very much, Eric, for this award, and I'm most grateful for the time I've been able to spend with student athletes and with coaches and with the whole program here. Thank you.
Thank you, Father Dennis. Certainly a very well-deserved honor and seemingly a family tradition of Hall of Famers. So they should welcome you to the club when you get back to the table. Our next recipient has a long tenure and history in the sport of baseball that has spanned well beyond the fences of Rochelot Field. Rafe Bagnett, class of 1987, was a standout catcher for the baseball team. Ray posted a career batting average that neared the .320 mark and held a fielding percentage of .995. He owns the 7th highest career slugging percentage in program history with a .643. Known and recognized for his leadership and in-game calling ability, he was named to the NE10 All-First Team in 1986 and 1987. Named to the AAB CXA Second Team in 1986, along with being named to the NE10 Second Team Honors in 1985. After his stellar career here at Assumption, he transitioned into the professional ranks, signing with the Pittsburgh Pirates as a free agent. After a successful career in the minor leagues, Ray transitioned into a successful post-playing career as a longtime Major League Baseball scout, and for over 25 years has been instrumental in evaluating and signing numerous MLB prospects within the Boston Red Sox organization. He serves as a trusted voice, scout, and director of player development while helping the club win multiple World Series titles. Ray, at this time, we welcome you to the podium and congratulations on this honor.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor. I'm very grateful. I want to thank the committee and congratulate my fellow inductees. Assumption was far and away the greatest decision I ever made in my life. Really set my life in terms of a course of being able to be successful in academics, helped me socially, and also in an environment and a family of faith, which was really important to me back then and still remains important. Everything I've been able to do in life is a function of having come here. I'm very grateful to my roommates that are here tonight, helped me celebrate. And I got to spend some time yesterday at the invitation of Coach Rocco, spent some time with the baseball team. And Coach Rocco is somebody that you're very fortunate to have. Reminds you a lot of the coach that I had, and I know that in the future there's gonna be great things to come along for the Assumption team. Two people I especially want to thank, and they aren't with us anymore, but they'll always be a big part of the Assumption athletic family. I had one other goal coming here, and I wanted to be a professional baseball player. And when I came in here freshman year at a strapping 5'7", 140 pounds, not a lot of people believed in me. One of the people that did was I'll call him an Assumption sports icon, and that's our dear friend, everybody's favorite SID, Steve Mercury Morris. All right, everybody knew Merc, and he's a great man, huge source of inspiration, support to me, and also he gave me a great, for 4 years, work-study job that the NCAA might have liked to investigate, but it worked out well. It was a lot of fun. But the other person I'd like to really thank, and he passed away a little over a month ago, and it was my coach, our great coach here, Barry Glinsky, who's in several Hall of Fames, had over 750 career wins. And I remember freshman year, he asked me what my goals here were, and I said, I want to be a professional baseball player. I'm sure he looked at me and thought, well, it's always nice to have dreams, but it's probably not going to happen. But again, constant source of support. And I remember senior year, he called me in his office and said, Ray, I know what you always wanted to be, and I think you got a chance now. And Assumption allowed me to develop like that and eventually play 5 years in professional baseball, have a lot of great professional baseball experiences and parlay that into 30 plus years with the Red Sox. But that's something that I will always be grateful for. And it's all because of Assumption College. And I'm very humbled tonight, and I thank you all very much.
Congratulations, Ray. As we move on in our program, our next inductee is one of the most decorated defensemen in our men's ice hockey program's history. Kevin Glansman, class of 2012, was a defensive cornerstone for the men's ice hockey team from 2008 to 2012. In 97 career games, he recorded 18 goals and 56 assists, totaling 74 points, and in turn is one of the best statistical careers for a defenseman in program history. Glansman's 2010-2011 campaign was particularly notable, as he recorded a conference-high 9 power play goals, while adding 2 even-strength goals, a career-high 19 assists, and the second most points from a defenseman in league history. Glansman was named to the NE10 first team 3 years in a row, while being one of 5 players in NE10 history, and the only player in school history to be named Defensive Player of the Year in back-to-back seasons. His strong leadership and consistent two-way play elevated the performance and profile of the Greyhounds defensive unit and program. After graduating, Glansman went on to play professionally for 1 year in Australia's top division, the Australian Ice Hockey League, where he played for the Melbourne Mustangs and appeared in 23 games, scoring 2 goals and adding 20 assists. He was certainly instrumental in the success of our program during his tenure here. To help us honor and congratulate Kevin and the Glansman family, please help me welcome our head men's ice hockey coach, Mike Looney, to the podium.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you to President Weiner, who was here earlier. Members of the board, the Hall of Fame committee, and congratulations, Father Dennis, Ray, Andrea, Antonia, Pop, it's good to see you, man. Hughesy, KG.com. I'd be really remiss as the head coach of this program to not give a special shout out to Keith Hughes. Your dedication as a student athlete, as a coach, and as an alumnus is unparalleled. It's extremely appreciated. And if there's a Mount Rushmore of Assumption hockey, you're absolutely on that. I did hear that, sorry, I'm not good with these things. I did hear Mr. Stephen Conley speaking with President Weiner on the strategic plan about Assumption's ATS equipment ice arena coming. So I don't know if that's in the works now?
About 3 months in.
Awesome. Maybe we can put your name on that instead of Mount Rushmore, but Hughesy, my only chirp is that Jake got big time the Hounds for Conn College, so other than that. What an awesome night for Assumption Hockey to be able to induct 2 juggernauts into our program. Thank you very much, John, Patty, Johnny, Jessica, Paul, Patrick, Jackie, and the entire Glansman family and my friends for being here. When I was preparing what to say here tonight about Kevin, it was extremely hard for me to figure out a way to concisely describe how our relationship turned from teammates to roommates to nearly cellmates on a few occasions, but always and forever brothers. I found myself reminiscing about all the amazing memories of my time with Kevin, and before I knew it, basically wrote a small novel about our time together, so please forgive me if I get a little long in the tooth, and I think I have a couple captains that will shut me up too. When I first met Kevin Anthony Glansman in the fall semester of 2008, we were both freshman defensemen trying to solidify our spots for the Assumption College men's ice hockey team with a brand new coach named Lance Brady. Kevin and I could not have been more opposite at first glance or as hockey players. A Long Island kid that looked like something out of Jersey Shore, high and tight haircut, low bald fade, 2 diamond earrings, a strong Island accent, and a slick and quick New York City-like attitude. Big John, you definitely owe my cousins a thank you for getting those earrings out. As similarly as players, we couldn't have been more opposite. Kevin, a right shot, offensive-minded defenseman with an uncanny ability to quarterback the power play. He was far from the biggest ear, the fastest skater. He didn't necessarily have the hardest shot or the fancy dangles, but his grit, game psychology, and ability to place pucks in the right areas was unparalleled. Compared to myself, a local kid with freckles and a phobia of tanning beds, never mind on the ice a left shot, stay-at-home defenseman that banged bodies, moved pucks, and tried to stay out of the penalty box. As we continued to size each other up through our fit testing, captain's practices, tryouts, we became teammates. And then there it was, a childhood dream come true. Coach Brady emailed the lineup, game 1 versus Worcester State, in the last D pairing, 16 Looney, 6 Glansman. Kevin quickly climbed to the top of that D pairing, and I stayed down the bottom. Except there was one time that he did a slip and slide in the showers and got sick, and he gave me a couple starts, so thanks for that, bud. From that moment on, we became thick as thieves and pretty quickly found ourselves in summer school to remain eligible for hockey. We got a place off campus and became roommates. This meant routine stops at my house for Nanny's cooking, road trips to Long Island to visit Kev's family and friends, and Longport, New Jersey to see mine. A few fun nights in Worcester with all the Glansman cousins, and even banana boating adventures in the shark waters off Block Island. John and Patty, thank you for always welcoming Kevin's teammates into your home, on your boat. Those are some of the best memories I'll ever have, and knowing Kevin, I'm sure he didn't give you much notice of who was coming, how long they're staying, or what kind of shenanigans we're getting into. Although I gotta say, I never went through more pairs of boxers and underwear than the 3 years I lived with your son. They just disappeared, it was crazy. We moved back onto campus, never had to attend summer school again, learned our lesson, but remained roommates our junior and senior years. On the ice, Kevin shined. I'm pretty positive he's still one of the only players, top 5, to be back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year. It's rare that your all-star defenseman is also your glue guy. For those of you guys who don't know what a glue guy is, it's the guy that keeps your team together. But that was Kevin, and he was one of a kind. He was viewed as a leader on our team, but not just for his play on the ice. He used to rally all the defensemen to a particular area on the ice, form a gauntlet, place a puck as bait in the middle of 8 to 10 defensemen stretching out before practice, and ransack/trip any forward who had the fortitude to skate through D block. Beyond his accolades on the ice, captain, 3-time all-conference selection, 2-time back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year, professional playing overseas, put up more points in a season than I could in my entire career. The proudest I've ever been to be Kevin's friend was junior year, when we learned about a group of freshmen picking on a student on the autism spectrum. Kevin and I did not know this person being picked on, but that did not matter to Kevin. Kevin got up, said, "Looney, come with me right now," and ran into a room full of kids ready to throw hands and defend the student being bullied. Let me tell you, Kevin was far from the biggest or strongest guy, but he was bar down the scrappiest guy and never backed down. The kid that they were picking on had spotted all of our parties, and seeing the light Kevin turn on within this young man was beautiful. If he's a friend of Kevin, he's a friend of mine, and this example is not a one-off. There were a few times we were almost cellmates, but fortunately, just like Kevin could escape under pressure on the ice, he was stealthy enough to steer us safe from the slammer. Father Dennis? You mentioned the magazine and I started shaking earlier. I need to make a confession. That dumpster fire back in 2010, 2011, there was a picture of it in Le Provocateur. That was us. I think the statute of limitations has expired. I don't think you can rescind my diplomas, and I wasn't an employee here, so I don't think that's a fireable offense either. It's incredibly fulfilling as the head coach of this program to know that when we recruit guys to come play here, they're going to experience this same bond that lasts a lifetime, as evident by everyone in this room here tonight. And there's so many hockey guys, and it's amazing. I can wholeheartedly attribute this to my time at Assumption with Kevin Glansman. Our first game after the canceled COVID season was at LIU. I cannot express, especially after COVID, how much it meant to see so many Glansmans in attendance, wearing Assumption hockey gear and cheering on the Hounds as we tried to compete against the Division I team that tied Quinnipiac a couple weeks prior, and Quinnipiac would go on to win the Division I national championship that year. But just like Kev, the Hounds have no fear of the shark waters and will never back down. Okay, this is the hard part. John, Kevin loves you, he adored you, he respects you, as any son would love their dad. And I mean that in the most sincere and honest fashion. I don't think he missed a game in years driving up from Long Island that didn't go unnoticed or unappreciated. That puck that Kevin gifted you, talking about dancing to Born in the USA on the way to games, it's the most beautiful and true thing there is. Patty, Kevin was always mama's boy. I guess we shared that bond immensely. He knew he could go to you. You were and always will be the most beautiful woman in his life. Johnny, I know you're not here today. He's down in Texas expecting his first child, I believe. That's awesome. Kevin idolized you as any big brother could in a fairy tale. From the stories he told, you were the coolest cat in any town you lived, and you were the best looking guy around. Jessica, Kevin cherished you as a big sister. I remember Kevin coming back from your wedding and saying he felt like a shook bird. Hold up, what's a shook bird? That was Kevin code, meaning he was overwhelmed or nervous or anxious, combined with a figure of speech for the birds, meaning something can't be taken seriously. AKA shook birds means overwhelmed and cannot be taken seriously. You got it. Patrick, Kevin protected you, literally, late nights on this campus when you couldn't hang with the big boys. You guys were closest in age and friends groups, and I'm so blessed for the bond you and I continue to share. I have no doubt he's watching over your wedding and proud of the man you've become and the beautiful bride and the life you're building with Jax Digital for all your website design needs. And Kevin, thank you for being my best friend. Thank you for encouraging me to stick with coaching and following our team religiously. We went 5-0 one season. Kevin found out we were ranked number 1 in the K-Ratch system. I didn't even know what K-Ratch meant. Kevin took it as an opportunity to call me and pretend that he was one of the New York Rangers GM and offer me a job. Your Australian team, the Melbourne Mustangs, described you best. He was very popular here, quite a character, especially in the changing rooms. He would motivate the team, pick you up if you were down, as well as cause general mayhem in a jovial mood. An offensive defenseman, Kevin had an exceptional vision, could pinpoint a pass to an open man with ease. Courageous under pressure, especially on the point, where his exceptional timing allowed him to sidestep attackers effortlessly. But it was his off-ice camaraderie with his teammates and friends that endeared him to all. A larger-than-life character, he was loved by all those in his circle. The last time Kevin and I saw each other was right before my 30th birthday. He gave me a card that I really can't read without crying. And a little side note, P.S., here's these gimpy wrist balls that might strengthen all those times you broke your hands. I carry one in my pocket every game I've coached. I carry you in my heart always. It's an honor and a privilege to induct Kevin Anthony Glanzman to the Assumption Hall of Fame. I love you forever and always. Cheers, mate.
Please help me welcome the Glanzman family to the podium to accept the award on Kevin's behalf. Thank you, Coach. Again, congratulations to the Glanzman family and to Kevin. Our next recipient is also a highly decorated member of our men's ice hockey program, both as a former student athlete and coach. As a player, Keith Hughes, class of 1994, was a dynamic force for the Greyhounds from 1990 to 1994. He finished his collegiate career with 121 points, ranking 17th all-time in program history. It is one of only 10 players to ever record a 50-point season, scoring 24 goals and adding 27 assists in his standout 1993-94 campaign. That year, the team posted a 19-8 record, captured the ECAC North title with a dominant 12-2 conference mark. That year, he was named the team's most valuable player, named an ECAC First Team All-Star, and was the recipient of the department's Alfred Berthium Award for Excellent Leadership. Hughes' leadership and offensive prowess helped assemble the program's best four-year stretch in program history, highlighted by 3 consecutive seasons with 19 or more wins, with him at the center of action. To this day, Hughes can still be found amongst the program leaders in goals and points in a single season. Hughes later returned to Assumption as an assistant coach for the program from 1994 to 1998, and then took over the program as our head coach from 1998 to 2005. During his tenure as head coach, he led the Greyhounds to 60 victories and 6 postseason berths over the course of his 7 seasons. During that time, he truly left his mark as a coach as he revitalized the program and was named the Northeast 10 Conference Coach of the Year in 2004. At this time, please help me welcome and congratulate Keith to the podium.
Thank you. Mike, great job up here. Tough one to follow. I'd like to thank Eric and the Assumption Athletic Department, along with the Hall of Fame Committee, for this tremendous honor. Also to Coach Bose and Hall of Famer Stephen Conley for pushing my nomination to the Athletic Department and giving me and my family this tremendous opportunity. The other inductees, Father Gallagher, Ray, Andrea, Antonia, Herb, Jennifer, and especially to the Glansman family. My father passed in 2019. I'm sure he's in a corner of the rink right now with Kevin. 2 other close friends that aren't here with us now. Ray, you mentioned him, Merck. Tremendous man. I learned more in that office than I did in any classroom at Assumption. Common sense. He read my papers. It was just I wasn't part of the work study program, so it was all free for me. So, Nick Minucci was the rink manager who just took great care of myself, my family. Any day there was a snow day, called me, bring your kids down to skate. Just anytime they wanted to skate, he took care of them, and that's kind of how they led to hockey as well. So, I'd like to just point them out. I was told the other day by my best friend of 48 years and fellow Greyhound, John Teixeira. We grew up together in Hyde Park, started skating at 5 years old, that if I decided to cry, he was going to throw tomatoes at me. So, Tex, I will do my best, but no promises. As I started to put together this speech, it was clear everything does happen for a reason, and I'll provide examples for this. First and foremost, I wouldn't be standing here without Coach Bill Bose. I was waitlisted at Assumption. You said student athlete. It was close, but it took a while for the student part. And it just finished off a state championship with Catholic Memorial in 1990. Stu, sorry, we beat BC High 7-1. It's pretty bad. So, I had deposited to Merrimack. College, and Coach Bose worked his magic and found a way to get me accepted. I can guarantee there's a few days you regretted getting me accepted. We've had way more ups, but there's a few days you wanted to kill me. So, with that being said, after reaching the championship game in 2 of the 4 years I played here, Coach Bose took another chance on me, asking me to be part of the coaching staff. I had a job lined up with the Boston Police. I could go back to Hyde Park and live there, and somehow he convinced me coaching Assumption and working for DCF would be better for me. Those are laughing, no DCF. 11 years of coaching, and 30 years later, I am still with the department. He left 1 year later to go to Wentworth and told me to come coach with him there and take that job with the Boston Police. Needless to say, my head was in a pretzel. I stayed with Assumption, but you know what? Through the years, we've had an unbelievable connection. To this day, I can call you to check in about anything and everything, whether it's your kids, your wife, my family you're always asking about. I will forever be grateful for that opportunity you gave me to be a Greyhound, and more importantly, the incredible friendship that started. Thank you. To my teammates and the players I coached, it truly was an honor to be on the ice or a locker room with you. Thank you to all of you who are in attendance tonight. To the seniors, when I was a freshman, you took great care of me on and off the ice, including the streets of Worcester. I did not need a fake ID to get into Leitrim's, so I was using my library card, I think, thanks to Kevin O'Neill at the door. So that's probably why I wasn't the best student. So I'll blame you. But just for those, to the other teammates that I sat next to in the locker room, were line mates with, or just competed and battled, especially that Fitchburg game at Wallace Civic Center. I'll get to that story shortly. It was an honor to lace them up with you. I would like to call out one special teammate in the crowd. That is Assumption Hall of Famer Rick Robus. Drove up today from Dresher, Pennsylvania with no GPS. I'm not sure how. It took him 9 hours. So, truly the greatest goalie I've ever played with. We were at a golf tournament the other day, Rick, and the conversation was largely about you, of how good you were, how great you competed. The reason we were so good was because of your hard work. But in order not to get your head too big, I'll let you know I did score on you every last shot in practice, gloves high. So, to my family, especially my boys Jake and Owen, tonight is proof that I was a good player. There's a lot of doubt over the years. All those stories you had to listen to around the rinks from people that knew me were actually true, at least the on-ice ones. I had the incredible opportunity to play with you both on a few occasions in beer league, and I got crap for not playing inside the dots, basically meaning not playing tough. I'll never forget getting a link from my son Jake about how to play in the offensive zone. Coach Boas can attest to you that I played inside the dots as a player, trying to protect my face and everything else at 53 years old. I don't need to go in front of the net. So, Missy, my wife, you did not get to watch me as a Greyhound, but my first game of you watching me with the boys was very memorable. There was a little bit of blood. It wasn't what she expected. To my sister Jen, you became a rink rat, and I can't thank you enough for the support. Is she filming? I looked over there. You can't be filming. So, my guess is me playing in college helped you with mom and dad being out of the house and a few parties were thrown. Mom, where do I begin? Don't. Gets better. The car rides, sitting in freezing rinks, planning dinners, just to name a few. Tonight is your senior night. I say that because my parents were in Hyde Park, whether it was 10 minutes down the road to Curry or 5 hours up to St. Michael's, they went to every game. Never had to once deal with it. We didn't have cell phones back then. You just got the schedule, you showed up to every game. She saw 3 senior nights for all the classes ahead of me. I get to my senior night, I get my name called, I skate out to the blue line, and my parents are nowhere to be found. So again, getting back to the landlines, the next morning I go out right away after with the boys to the bar, and next morning my mother's screaming at me, "Why didn't you tell me?" I'm like, "Tell you that you went to every game. There's no reason for me to tell you. You've seen all these senior nights." So I will say, though, there was one memorable game that you were at. It was at the Wallace Civic Center against Fitchburg State. Not the 2 championship games we played in, rather a regular season game. Billy Taylor, I blame you for this story. At the end of the game, some shenanigans took place and there was an all-out brawl on the ice. The only thing people can remember from that game is some crazy lady over the glass swinging her pocketbook. Yes, that was my mother. We got on the bus, and I was hoping nobody noticed. Several of my teammates bring it up, and I hear, "Did anyone else see that lady over the glass hitting that Fitchburg State player?" And in unbelievable fashion, my line mate and roommate, Brendan Bruner, in his squeaky voice goes, "Yeah, that was Hughesy's mother." I couldn't hide any further under the seat. I was like, "Oh, here we go." Regardless, Mom, you've always had my back, and I can't thank you and Dad enough for getting me into hockey. Tex, stop. I mentioned everything that happens for a reason, and oddly enough, tonight would have been my parents' 55th wedding anniversary. In closing, good luck to Coach Looney and the Greyhounds tonight. Very respected move. They brought out his team as I entered the building tonight. It was a great gesture. Thank you. To all my family, teammates, and friends that are here tonight, thank you for celebrating this night with me. I will see you at Leitrim's. Thank you.
Congratulations, Keith. Our next recipient unfortunately could not be with us this evening to celebrate, but is one of the most decorated women's soccer program and all-time leading point scorers in program history. Andrea Marcocchio, class of 2006, made her mark as a dynamic midfielder for our women's soccer program from 2002 to 2005, in which she competed in more than 80 matches. A time in which the program had 3 consecutive double-digit win totals from 2003 to 2005, a third-team NSCAA third-team member, and 2-time first-team All-Northeast 10 honoree, Marcocchio tallied 40 goals and 26 assists in her career for 106 points, all of which rank third in program history, and she is only one of 3 individuals to ever break the 100-point mark here at the university. During her sophomore campaign, Marcocchio set a program record for assists in a season, recording 12, and in her junior and senior seasons led the team to the program's first 2 NCAA tournament appearances, while also pacing them offensively in total points with 64 in that span of time. Andrea is widely recognized for her composure, passing ability, and intelligent play that truly helped shape one of the program's most competitive eras in the history of the program. Please help me congratulate Andrea from afar on this well-deserved honor. Our next inductee literally ran away from her competition and into the record books as one of the most prolific cross-country and track and field athletes in the history of the university. Antonia Pagliucci, class of 2018, stands amongst the most accomplished runners in Assumption's program history. In 2014, she earned NE10 Rookie of the Year honors and was the first freshman athlete in Assumption history to qualify for the NCAA Nationals. From that incredible start, she went on to become the USTAF-CCA All-Region honoree 3 times, was a multi-time All-Conference performer, earning NE10 First-Team All-Conference recognition 4 times, and was a 3-time NCAA championship qualifier in the sport of cross-country alone. Antonia then rivaled that success in both indoor and outdoor track and field for the Greyhounds, where she went on to be one of the most consistent and competitive runners in the region and within the NE10 conference, winning multiple bronze, silver, and gold medals at the NE10 championships in the 3,000 meter, 5,000 meter, 10,000 meter events throughout her career. To cap her career in 2018, she captured conference titles in both the 5,000 meter and 10,000 meter, where she was then named an NCAA Division II First Team All-American in the 10,000 meter. To this day, she still holds program records in the 3,000 meter, 5,000 meter, and 10,000 meter events. Further, she was the recipient of 2 major department awards as she received the Andrew Alaska Athlete of the Year Award in 2017 and the Steve Merck Morris Memorial Award in 2018. By all accounts, Antonia's incredible performances throughout her career propelled a new era of regional and national competitiveness for the Greyhounds in distance running. At this time, please help me welcome and congratulate Antonia to the podium.
Thank you. You're right, it definitely is harder to get up here to talk than it is to do our sport. So, first I want to congratulate all the inductees here tonight, the Hall of Fame inductees. Also want to apologize in advance for my dear 85-year-old Italian grandmother that forgot her hearing aids conveniently. So you might have kind of heard her chime in a couple of you guys' speeches. So, thank you. This evening marks a big moment in my life. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude and a deep sense of honor to be inducted in the Assumption Hall of Fame class of 2025. Tonight's a celebration of everyone who's fallen in love with the sport and were blessed with the opportunity to perform for this school. To think I started my running career as a freshman in high school, struggling to finish the 2-mile and always coming in last, to helping lead the Hounds to consecutive cross-country national appearances, a team regional title my senior year, and even to this day, myself continuing many races, marathons, and still going. My passion for running has shaped my life, and Assumption allowed me to flourish in the sport in more ways than I could ever imagine. I take all the discipline, pride, and passion with me wherever I go and whatever I do. There's so many people to thank, and I apologize in advance if I leave anybody out. So with that being said, thank you to the Assumption community, my coaches, my teammates, the athletic department, the Hall of Fame committee, my professors and mentors who fostered a culture of excellence and integrity, my friends who have always supported me and are here tonight celebrating with me. And last but not least, my family, my mom, dad, sister, and Nana. I'll never be able to thank you all as much as you deserve. Love you guys. I will hold the Hounds in my heart with me the rest of my life. Thank you.
All right, congratulations, Antonia. Our final recipient of the evening, Herb Woodard, class of 2011, was a dominant force on the football field from 2007 to 2011. As a running back and return specialist, he rushed for a school record of 3,695 yards on 780 carries and scored an incredible 38 total touchdowns in his career. Further, he still holds the single-season rushing TD mark with 17 and has the 5th highest single-season total in program history for rushing yards with 1,175 in a single season. Woodard also contributed 77 receptions for 517 yards, 24 punt returns for 280 yards, and compiled more than 4,500 all-purpose yards, which ranks 3rd all-time in program history. During his career, he was no stranger to postseason accolades, earning the 2007 NE10 Rookie of the Year, the 2009 NE10 Offensive Player of the Year, the ECAC D2 Rookie of the Year, the Worcester Area Freshman and Player of the Year recognition, along with being named to the Worcester Area First Team All-Conference Team 3 times, the NE10 All-Conference Second Team, and named to the NE10 All-First Team twice. In conjunction, during his tenure, Woodward was also named Assumption's Freshman Male Athlete of the Year, named to the New England Football Writers First Team, and to the Daktronics Region 1 Second Team. By all accounts, he was a dependable and explosive playmaker who helped establish a physical identity for the Greyhounds and helped kickstart one of the most successful decades in program history. At this time, please help me welcome Herb to the podium.
The process is more important than the product. Inky Johnson. Tonight just isn't about football, it's about faith. Follow through and finishing what you start. Especially when the path gets hard, the noise gets loud, and the outcome is uncertain. First and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without him, I don't know where I'd be. His name is worthy to be praised. Amen. I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee, the trainers, Jim Mullen, oh man, Jim, and the entire staff. Thank you, Assumption University, for this incredible honor. To my coaches, Coach Bailey, Coach Bussey, Coach Kopka, Coach Jackson, Coach Volcano, Coach Hunt, Coach McGuire, Coach Barisi, and Coach Diniak. Thank you for helping not only shape me as a player, but the man I became today. I gotta tell you a story about Coach Bussey, who's in the room today, and I believe he's part of the reason why I'm standing here today. So I'm from Salem, New Jersey. It's a small town in South Jersey, and I was with my best friend, Marcus Nichols, who's in the room today, on a recruiting visit, and our bus got broke down at the Foxwood Casino in a snowstorm. And Coach Bussey, he drove from here down to Foxwoods to pick us up, and I had one of the best nights ever, and I believe that's what kind of sold me. So, Coach Bussey, I'm actually here because of you, so thank you, because that showed me a lot. I want to take a moment to thank my teammates and all my supporters. Shout out to the table over there. Y'all mean everything to me. Thank you for going to battle with me. Thank you for your brotherhood. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all the fun times down in 5 men. Just on this campus in general, man. Thank y'all. Special shout out to my other teammates who were in the room, Crowley. Like, this is a win for all of us. I couldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. Football is the ultimate team sport. To my family, who's always been in my corner since day one, my mom, you should check my mom's calves out. My mom has been running down the field with me since Pop Warner to high school to Assumption. Shout out to my mom. I want to thank my siblings who are also in the room too. A few of them, I'm one of 8. I have a few here with me today. My brother Dante, my baby sister Alexis, my older sister Felicia. Thank you so much for all your support, all the hard times. My sister actually helped raise me growing up. So, I'm the man I am today, especially partly because of her as well. So thank you for that. I also want to thank my wife-to-be, Samantha. You've been rocking with me for the last 10 years. She wasn't a part of this journey with me, but over the last 10 years, thank you for helping me develop into the man and the future husband that I will be very shortly. I want to thank my 2 beautiful daughters right there. Being a girl dad has taught me so many lessons, has actually brought out the best part of me, and I think that every man deserves a daughter and needs a daughter because there's qualities and characteristics that daughters bring out in men, and I truly believe that, so thank you to my babies. I also want to take a moment to highlight the education I received at Assumption. Through the university's accelerated degree program, I earned my bachelor's degree in 2011 and my master's degree in 2012. But the journey wasn't smooth. My freshman year, I had to withdraw from a class because I wasn't prepared. I doubted myself and I questioned if I belonged. I have to also shout out Professor Susan Scully, who was my advisor and I believe still is here. She never gave up on me, she challenged me, she encouraged me, and she's the one who actually recommended me for the accelerated program. That decision changed the course of my life. To Susan, who wasn't able to make it tonight, and to the entire Human Service Department, thank you so much. What you poured into me academically shaped who I became off the field. I came into camp freshman year as a wide receiver, but I had a problem with that because I was recruited to play running back. So I went to Coach Jackson the first day of training camp, and he told me to go with the running backs. There was 9 running backs at the time. But I wasn't intimidated. I believed in my ability, my IQ, my preparation, and I stand here today because I bet on myself. I didn't start that season, but I earned a role on special teams as a punt returner. One of the stats that wasn't in the program was that I have an 85-yard punt return, which I believe is the longest in school history. Then in week 3, the starter went down and I got my shot. My first college carry, a 75-yard touchdown. That game, 5 touchdowns, 277 rushing yards, all in the first half. Shout out to Coach Barisi, who wasn't able to make it, but at that time he was coaching for St. A's. He came over to the right side. I didn't know at the time, but I was 29 yards short of the school record, which is 306. I think it's fair to say that if I would have played the second half, I probably would have cracked that record. Here's some accomplishments: 3,695 rushing yards, 38 rushing touchdowns, 4.7 yards per carry, 77 receptions for 527 yards, 4 receiving touchdowns, a 72-yard passing touchdown. Shout out to Dave Canny. An 85-yard punt return for a touchdown, 4,573 all-purpose yards, 43 total touchdowns. More importantly than any of that, stats fade, records fall, but character, that's what lasts. This honor isn't just about celebrating football. It's a reminder that you can fail a class and still earn your degrees. You can be the 9th on the depth chart and still become the starter. You can be counted out and still be called great. This is for the kid who feels overlooked, the student grinding through finals, the athlete stuck behind someone else, the person asking, is this all worth it? Yes, it is. You're not being punished, you're being prepared. There's a verse that sums this all up for me. Proverbs 16:3 says, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. This is definitely God's plan. I was number 24, today's the 24th. You can't make this up. I didn't know how it all would play out. I just trusted God, stayed ready, and did the work. And look what he has done. If you take anything from tonight, let it be this. Believe in yourself, even when no one else does. Be excellent in the dark, because your moment is coming. Stay ready, because life rewards the prepared. And above all, honor God with your gift. All glory to God. May this not be the end of the story, just the echo that inspires the next one. I want to thank and congratulate all the other inductees and honorees. You guys deserve it. As your teammate in this honor, I know the hard work, the grit, the late nights, the early mornings, the locker room conversations, the dorm room, bathrooms, all the hard work. Special shout out to the athletic department. Again, thank you for all that you guys have given to the program, to all the athletes, and to myself. God bless you all. Let's go Hounds.
Coach McKenzie, we put you on the spot. I think we got a 24 jersey for Herb tomorrow. I think he's good for at least 100. Herb, I don't know if you got anything in those legs, but Coach is ready to put you in tomorrow. Congratulations, Herb. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, that concludes our formal induction ceremony for the evening. But before we go, could you please help me congratulate our incredible inductees and honorees for tonight with the loudest applause yet. You all have certainly left your mark here at Assumption and certainly within Assumption University Athletics Department. We are very lucky to be able to call each and every one of you Greyhounds. As we commence our program, I'll just make one quick note. Inductees of tonight, if you will, when we commence here, please join us over at the backdrop here for some formal photos, and please encourage your families there as well. Take a few photos as we commence tonight. We hope that you'll join us this weekend for some homecoming festivities as we finish out the weekend here with our football program and field hockey team in action. And we will also honor each of our inductees tonight and recognize them at halftime of tomorrow's football game if you can join us. I thank you all for your continued amazing support and for joining us to induct and honor this incredible group. I hope you enjoy the rest of your homecoming weekend. Wish you all a very safe, happy, and healthy upcoming holiday season. And as always, go Hounds!